Well, that's Paris Dennard, and he was not about to let a bunch of black liberals shout him down on CNN.
I think today he said exactly what he felt, and we all saw it.
Yeah,
the day
that's
before,
what was so fascinating.
Right, the day before it was a wooden, very scripted, very stiff, no emotion. Today, the emotions
someone on
were
Twitter
out.
called it a hostage video yesterday. I mean, that's basically...
I mean, that's what it looked like. It looks like he was forced. And guess what? Take a look at what some of the neo-Nazis are saying about his speech. Because one of them just put a new statement out that I just saw, just came into my email. He says, Trump defends Charlottesville's Nazis against Jew media lies, condemns Antifa terrorists. He will not be blackmailed into condemning his base. So there you go. That's how neo-Nazis see President Trump. They are clapping for him and saying, he's giving us a thumbs up, y'all. We're good.
No, actually, they're clapping for you because you're buying into what they're trying to do.
They are not clapping for Sarah Seidner. You better take that back.
No, I won't take it back because what they're doing is you just gave them platform. You just read their entire message of hate.
I didn't. You should see their message. Their message is really strong, and their message gets out to hundreds of thousands of people. So I'm not giving them a platform.
Actually, you just gave them. Actually, no. When you
read
the idea that
for the
record, she didn't say the person's name
I didn't
or
say
their
the
Twitter
person's
account.
name, and I didn't give their account. But I am telling you that this is how white supremacists and neo-Nazis are reading the president's comments.
Not. It's how they're.
How do you know? Do you read their comments?
I don't.
Have you talked to them?
I don't.
Because
No,
I
haven't.
have. I've spent time with them.
Well, congratulations.
This past week,
I'm glad you
I've
spent time with racists, but let me tell you.
I have spent time with them
Anderson,
and talked to them
I like
because
to comment
I'm interested. I'm interested in actually what they think and what they're saying, so that we can learn how to try and change minds and bring people together.
I'm proud that you talk to racists, but Anderson, this is the point that I've been trying to make, which I haven't been able to make because nobody lets me talk on the show or on this panel. The point is, this is different. When you are talking about something as so divisive as the racial issues that we have in this country, the president wanted to take the time to make sure you had all of the facts because every single word mattered.
You were actually saying with a straight face that this president cares about getting the facts right before speaking, before tweeting about
Anderson,
something?
when I'm talking about
wiretapping in the Trump Tower.
Those things are different.
That doesn't matter? Really? Accusing the former president of wiretapping?
What I'm saying is this is a different issue. It's a racial issue. You know what? Everyone talked about the Merck CEO, Merck CEO resigning. Every time they said that, who happens to be African American, the Merck CEO, who happens to be African. But when the rest of the CEOs resigned, I didn't hear people say, who happens to be white.
How many of them did you
tweet about?
All right, so look, this is obviously a throwback to, I think, one of the big lies about the first Trump era. Will there be a second one? Who knows? Tune in November. But one of the biggest lies about the first Trump era is the Charlottesville lie, the fine people on both sides lie, which is obviously a smear, right? It was never a thing, because when he said there were some very fine people on both sides, literally the sentence after that was not the white supremacists and the Nazis who are complete. I think he said they're scumbags who I completely disavow, something of that nature. Of course, the last sentence never makes the mainstream media. It's always the soundbite that mainstream media used to push a sort of agenda. Okay, so let's put that back there. We all know it. We all see it. We kind of all know what it is at this point. But the point that Paris Dennard was making in that panel was that when this Sarah Seidner person, who was just so aggressive and just so it was like she was physically trying to be over him. Paris Dennard, obviously on that panel, was not a large person. She was much larger than him, and she was trying to physically intimidate him, which I thought was weird. But anyway, the point that he was making is this. These neo-Nazis and white supremacists or whatever, they put out statements like that, whether they truly believe that Donald Trump is throwing them cover or not, specifically so that their messages can be elevated by the Sarah Seidners of the world and the CNNs of the world. That was the point that Paris Dennard was making. It's a point that any rational thinking person would agree with, but of course, you're not dealing with rational thinking people. You're dealing with black libs pushing an agenda on CNN. So it is not surprising to me that they either did not or pretended not to understand the point that he was making.